Hey, what's going on everyone? In today's video, we'll be talking about the first ever Mandalorian Jedi in Star Wars, and that was Tarre Vizsla, the Darksaber he wielded, how it was made, and just the overall history of Tarre Vizsla. But before we get into it, if you could hit that like button, it really helps out the smaller channels. I would really appreciate it. Without any further ado, let's get started. Starting in the year 3976 BBY, that's before the Battle of the Yavin, there was a great war between the Republic and the Mandalorians. This conflict primarily took place in the Outer Rim, and it was a way for the battle-hungry Mandalorians of old to test out their mettle in battle. In essence, they were space Vikings, plundering worlds for their resources. Anyhow, in the later parts of the war, the Mandalorians got more bold and started to invade the Republic, causing the Jedi to step in. This was just before the turn of Darth Revan and Malak to the dark side some years prior to the events of the KOTOR games. And long story short, after a long and grueling conflict, Revan and the rest of the Jedi managed to push the Mandalorians back and stop the conflict. This conflict is the root of why the Republic did not like or trust the Mandalorians, and why the Mandalorians did not like the Jedi and made sport of killing them. This is partly why there were no Mandalorian Jedi for thousands of years, and it wasn't until the year 1100 BBY when a Force-sensitive named Tarre was born to the clan of Vizsla on Mandalore. He grew up as a pretty standard Mandalorian, doing work as a mercenary and completing bounty contracts. He did show prowess with a Beskad, which is a saber basically made out of Beskar, a traditional Mandalorian weapon. He had fast reflexes which caught the attention of both Sith and Jedi during his work. He actually had contracted himself with the new Sith of the time on some missions as well during this. Finally, when he was out on a mission more close to the core worlds, which were closer to the Republic, Jedi recruiters found out that he was Force sensitive and decided to invite him to the Jedi Order and its academy. This was during a time when the Jedi were a bit more lenient on the age of Padawans, and Tarre Vizsla had to have been in his late teens or early 20s about when he joined. He applied his already Mando military mind and skills with the saber to the first lightsaber form, Shi-Cho. It took him a few decades for him to become a Jedi Knight, and he did various missions for the Jedi Order in this time, including serving as the current Chancellor's Guard during the Dark Age of the Republic. Although Tarre Vizsla had skills with a lightsaber due to his inherent abilities and practice as a Mandalorian mercenary in the past, the regular Jedi sabers were not the same style and weight of the familiar Mandalorian saber Beskad. The extremely light feel of the saber was his biggest complaint, as the Beskad was quite heavy as it was made out of that strong metal of Beskar. So he decided to forge a lightsaber more akin to the Mandalorian style. By using the hilt of a Beskad along with other materials and a synthetic lightsaber crystal for the black sheen, he combined all these components and the Darksaber that we know and love was forged. To give some context on his activities in his later life, due to the Kandorian plague, the Republic was in a decline. This put more pressure on the Jedi of the time. During this era, Tarre Vizsla frequently ignored his Jedi responsibilities to go deeper into new Sith space on his own agenda. Some of the new Sith territory was near his home planet of Mandalore, so he wanted to protect them, essentially. The Sith were gathering Beskar in worlds near Mandalore, which concerned Vizsla and the rest of the clans. So he gathered as many of the Mandalorians as he could to fight off the Sith near that area. The battles were tough, as the Kandorian plague had also made a significant impact on the number of fighting Mandalorians as well, but thanks to Tarre Vizsla's leadership and skills on the battlefield, they were able to ward off the new Sith. This is where the Darksaber became a leadership and rally-to symbol for the Mandalorians. After these conflicts, the clan leaders urged Tarre Vizsla to take upon the title of Mandalore, which is essentially the leader of the clans and Mandalore. Basically what Bo-Katan is obsessed about in The Mandalorian, and what we'll probably be witnessing in Season 3. He grudgingly accepted this title to help unify Mandalore and keep the clans happy, but it was hard for him as he knew the Jedi Order, and specifically the Council, would not like this. For many years, more or less, he helped lead his people through an uncertain time, including a pandemic, the new Sith incursions, and pirate invasions. Unfortunately, the Kandorian plague continued continued to rage on, taking his wife from him along with others on Mandalore, those especially close to him. And he blamed himself for this, and this is what caused him to step down from the role of ruler of Mandalore. After stepping down from his role as leader as Mandalore, he would still help his people when he could, and the Jedi Council was getting frustrated with him for neglecting the duties assigned to him. In all honesty, not much would come of this disobedience as the Dark Age of the Republic raged on, and there was no point of the Jedi Council wasting resources on carrying out punishment. Really, they just kind of got lazy, but they were down bad from the Kandorian Plague. During the year of 1010 BBY, a young and powerful up-and-coming Jedi of the High Council, Khan, turned to the dark side and formed the Brotherhood of Darkness with the Sith that were remaining after the Sith Civil War. Many other Jedi were also leaving the Order and joining the Sith, along with just leading the Order in general. A lot of them left and also joined Lord Hoth's Army of Light. This was the main army that was actually fighting Lord Khan's Brotherhood of Darkness. Tarre Vizsla was also annoyed with the Jedi Council that they allowed so many Jedi to leave and decided to make a formal request to join Lord Hoth's Army of Light. Council denied him, so he invoked the right of denial, which involved giving up his knighthood and his saber to the Council in order to leave. He was tired of the inefficient and incompetent Jedi Council and was willing to give up his prized Darksaber to leave them.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What?
So, in the final part of his life, Tarre Vizsla joined the Army of Light and the fight against the Brotherhood of Darkness. In the year 1001 BBY, on the planet Ruusan, Tarre Vizsla and the Army of Light cornered the Dark Lord Khan and the rest of the Brotherhood into a cavern, and that is where they forced the Brotherhood to use a thought bomb. Tarre Vizsla was among the 100 Jedi who perished from this thought bomb along with the rest of the Sith. Well, all but one, Darth Bane, who I made an in-depth video on him and about the thought bomb you should check out. So yeah, that's unfortunately where Tarre Vizsla perished valiantly to try to bring down the Sith, and they pretty much succeeded in that. The Sith didn't realize that the thought bomb would backfire and kill them as well, but Darth Bane was not a part of the Brotherhood and he escaped. After his death, the people of Mandalore honored his passing and had a ceremony back home in his honor on Mandalore. And members of his clan, Vizsla, sought to retrieve his possessions, including his armor and of course the Darksaber. They sent a request for his belongings to the Jedi Council, but they were denied it. They sent another request for just the Darksaber, and yet they were denied again. Wow, yeah, the Jedi Council is always screwing the pooch, am I right? Annoyed by this, members of Clan Vizsla crafted a plan to get the Darksaber back. They took their best spies and assassins and headed to Coruscant. There, they pulled off a heist and successfully retrieved the Darksaber from the Jedi Temple. This remained in Clan Vizsla's possession and symbolized the ruler of Mandalore up until Darth Maul took it during the Clone Wars. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the history of Tarre Vizsla. If this video was helpful or you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like. I mean, I personally just love all Old Republic lore. There's just so much going on. And maybe one day we'll see a second Mandalorian Jedi, or there already will be one by the time you've seen this video. Here are some more videos of mine you might like. I highly suggest the Bane video as it paints a clear picture of what happened on Ruusan and Tarre Vizsla's death. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.